Good evening everyone and welcome back to the channel. So this evening's video, this Monday evening, miserable Monday evening, we've had lots of rain all day. We are going to try and do a question and answers video. Haven't done a question and answers video in, I'd say, over 12 months. So yeah, what I've done is I've picked randomly a selection of, I suppose, between 10 and 15 questions that have been asked over the last, I'd say 6, 7, 8 videos. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and answer them now. Some of them I may have tried to get back to in the comment section if I could, but I'll answer them a little bit better now, and we'll see, just see how it goes. I'll have to do a proper question and answers video. I haven't done one, as I said, in ages, and we'll maybe around Christmas time we'll set aside a whole video, or maybe do a live stream on question and answers. So yeah, that's something that we'll do in the next number of weeks. But yeah, let's get going at it. Just before we get going, if you're not already a subscriber, just click the sub button, leave a like on the video, comment down below. All that stuff all helps the channel, so costs you nothing. Just go down and hit the sub button. It's only a small thing. A lot of my subscribers, there's like 65 or 68% who watch me aren't actually subscribed, so it just helps the channel if you click the sub button. So do that for me if you can. And let's get going. Let's see how we get on at the question and answers. Okay, so let's get going to the questions. Have the phone here ready to go. Question number 1 is from New Holland T7, and he asks, why is the plough wobbling so much? So this question was asked a couple of videos back when we were ploughing for a winter crop, for it to go on the ground. Yeah, you can see from time to time the boards, top boards that aren't in the ground can wobble, move about, and what's happening there is it's because the boards that are in the ground walking, they're hitting rock, they're hitting stone, they may be running on something that is causing the whole top boards then to move around a little bit. The fact that you haven't asked this means that the ground where you are is obviously sandy maybe, or a heavier kind of ground, maybe with less stones on it, and quite lucky for you if you have that. Yeah, it's just the way the ground is here. It's always been like that, and we don't pass much remarks of it. The biggest issue for us is that when we do plough up ground, we generally have a lot of stones to lift, especially for the first number of years if you're in new ground. After that, then the stones becomes less and less. So, but it's not ideal. But yeah, that's why the boards move around. So thanks for the question, New Holland T7. Next question is from Eamon Canning. How are the tyres doing for you? And what I think he's asking about, well, I'm not sure. I wonder, are you talking about the tyres on the 6930, or are you talking about the tyres on the Teleporter? The tyres on the Teleporter, the Firestone tyres, they're doing well. At this stage, they're on the machine. They're not just on it 2 years yet. They're on it about 18, 20 months maybe at this point, and tyres are doing well. It does a lot of road walk. It does a lot of around the yard. I'd say they're probably down about, maybe there's about 30% off them, I'd say, at this point, which is good. Like, I know that the previous tyres, we had Michelin tractor grip tyres on, and they didn't do a wipe. We went through the tyres in less than, I think, after 1,500 hours they were completely bald. So at this stage, it's probably 500 or 600 hours on the machine since they went on, and yeah, we'd be happy with how they're doing. They're a hell of a tyre. They're very stable sidewalls in them. They're slightly taller too. There is the machine up at the ground, so we're very happy with those. The Bridgestone tyres on the 6.9, if you're asking about those, very little wear on those. They're probably down 5% maybe from when they went on. There's about 250 hours, I'd say, on it, maybe 300 hours. I'm not sure. I'd have to just check back. But yeah, tyres are doing well with them as well. Again, a bit like the Firestone, the Bridgestone have a great sidewall in them, very rugged, and you can know it's visibly noticeable if you have a big load on the back of the tractor, the slurry tank, or maybe 12 or 14 ton of spuds. Tractor's very stable, and ploughing as well. All those things, great traction with them. We're very, very happy with the Bridgestone tyres. But yeah, that's. I'm not sure if there's any other tyres that you're asking about, but I think that covers the tyre end of things. So thanks very much for the question, Eamon. Next question is Ian Inns. Hi Jerry, how are you getting on? Been looking at your new purchase, and I'm trying to make out the original dealer sticker on the bonnet. Is it an Irish tractor, or is it a French dealer sticker? Sorry if I'm nosy. All the best. Take care. Looking forward to seeing progress in fine machine. Okay, thanks very much, Ian. It's actually here in front of me. I can show you the sticker. It is a French sticker. It is, I don't know, it's Heliquin, is it? I'm not sure. But yeah, French sticker. I think it's down fairly south in France. It's not that far from Nice. I googled it. But that's it. It's a French tractor, as I've mentioned in previous videos, and the sticker is also French. So I hope you can take a screenshot of there if you want to Google it or have a look at it or anything like that. So that hopefully answers that question. We'll just open the phone and get moved on. So yeah, thanks very much, Ian. Next question is from Farm Factor. Farm Factor, is it? Do you hire a contractor? Do you hire a contractor for the wrapping? We do, yeah. It's usually, there's a couple of neighbours who have wrappers beside us, so it's usually, fly on me, it's usually one of a couple of guys that'll come and wrap the bales. We haven't purchased a wrapper. We don't know if we'll bother really to purchase a wrapper. It's just another job. It's handy to, if you have to do the baling and mowing and all that yourself, and somebody comes to do wrapping, you can just get stuck into stacking the bales. You know, it's just another job and another number of hours that maybe, and more money tied up machinery that we have enough money tied up machinery, I think. But yeah, hope that answers the question. So we do hire a contractor for doing the wrapping. So yeah, thanks very much, Farm Factor. Okay, next question is from Brian O'Hanlon. Have you still got the 2130, Jerry? I have still got the 2130. We haven't done any work on the 2130 in about 18 months, which is a disgrace. And back when the 2850 ended up, the head gasket went the 2850. The plan was that we were going to do the 2130 then. We ended up taking the 2850 in. The head gasket, just if anyone who can't remember, just rotted off the tractor. It was 27 years old. I was using the yard and just the temperature gauge just went up slightly on it. So we ended up having to do the work on the 2850. We ended up painting bits of it, a few bits of it. We done bits of interior. We just ended up doing all the work on the 2850, and the 2130 got pushed into the back. And this winter we were supposed to be going to do the 2130 again. It looks like now we're going to be doing the 3650 instead. So again, it's been pushed back a little bit more again. But it is definitely on the list of jobs that are tractors that we have to do. So we have got the tractor. It's on the long finger, but we have to get at it at the same time. So thanks very much, Brian, for that question. Next question, Jeffrey Gill. Looking forward to the upcoming videos, Jerry, especially on the high-low and the PTO clutch. Yeah, what I'm going to do is, once we get started, we haven't started on the 3650 yet. We may start them maybe in the next week or so, and I'm going to try and do a whole just video after video of step by step, what I should really say, of the work as we do it, and I hope to do that. So yeah, just keep an eye out, and as soon as we get going on it, the videos will start. So yeah, thanks very much for the question, Jeffrey. Okay, next question, Jack O'Flaherty. Will you be using the 3650 to pull the John Deere small square baler when you're making hay next year? I won't be using the 3650 on the small square baler. Be using the 3650 on the round baler. At some point we'll give it a go at that, and just on different jobs we'll use it along the way. Yeah, 2850 is more suited to the square baler. It suits it well. It's got a nice turning lock. It's just everything about it suits it. It looks well on it. 3650 would probably look a little bit big on it. Lots of people do use them, but I don't think we will. So yeah, hope that answers your question, Jack, and yeah, thanks for asking it. Okay, so on to the next question, and it is from Patrick Kelly. Will you stick her on the dyno at any stage? I'd actually love to stick all the tractors on the dyno at some point, maybe make a video out of it. I think it'd be a lot of fun to see what the 6.9 is thrown out, see what the 6.4 is thrown out now at this stage. 6.4 like is completely original. I'm sure some of the horses have died on it. It hasn't got them all still alive in it. But I'd love to get them all checked out. Put the 3650, 2850 on it. Just see how they're all doing. I think that it'd make some good content to make a good video. So we'll see when we get maybe when we get the tractor done, and in the springtime we'll maybe see if we can get somebody to come and we'll dyno, and I'll video the whole thing. We'll dyno test the 10 of days the tractors. But yeah, I'd definitely be on for that. So thanks very much for that question, Patrick. Bob Patterson, always enjoy seeing your stock, Jerry. Have you noticed any improvement in the cattle's ability to get on the feet since you got the slats ground? So yeah, back before the cattle went in, we got the slats grooved in a couple of the sheds, and we noticed a huge difference in the cattle getting up and down. It's usually at this stage, first thing that we'd notice is, apart from the fact that cattle are more comfortable getting up and down now, you can see it on them when they go to stand up, they're not slipping, they're more confident. The slats actually look to be staying cleaner, which is surprising as well, which is something that I didn't think would happen. But yeah, there's no foot issues. Usually at this point we'd have foot issues on the cattle. You'd have some cattle out with lame, with maybe the hoof split, where they slip, the hoof catches and it basically slits it, and causes then the animal to be lame and not eat properly, and it causes issues then down along the line until they heal. Costs you money then maybe to get the vet out to sort it, or if you have to buy an antibiotic or inject it or treat it yourself. It's all money, and the animal then has stopped moving forward. He'll sit still or maybe fail a little bit. So it's the fact that we've had no foot issues at all is a huge bonus, which we're very, very happy with. So yeah, I'd be very happy with how it's worked out, Bob. Okay, so on to the next question. Tech Bros, the low loader has already been put to use. I seen that a couple of people actually commented that. I laughed when I seen that. We were using it to block part of the yard. Yeah, any way we can use it, we'll use it. That's it's expensive gate though. Kenneth Smart, hi Jerry. Also wondering what you dip the clippers in. Oh yeah. Kenneth, we dip them in just oil, any kind of a waste oil, a little bit of engine oil. If you have no waste oil, just a small bit of engine oil in a container. Anything that will lubricate them, just anything that will lubricate them really. Yeah, like we've used, I actually find that you can get clipper oil and it's quite light, but I actually find that the heavier oil is better and it seems to last a bit better on them. But yeah, that's really the answer to that. Any kind of oil. Okay, so thanks for that question, Kenneth. Michael Muffy, what sort of crush is that, Jerry? Looks the job. The crush that we have, it's a Morris crush. Yeah, Morris crush, and then there's a gate then that closes around on the front of it. The head scoop is IAE. It's I think it's a version 4 they call it. It's great head scoop, very good head scoop. It's one of the only ones that I've seen that will work when you have pressure, downward pressure from an animal. You can get it released no problem. So if there's an emergency, an animal slips, something happens, you can click it straight off, open the gate and straight out. But yeah, we've had a lot of cattle through both the head scoop at this stage. We have it probably about 4 years I'd say, and the crush gate is up now since 2007, so there's a lot of cattle that's been through it, and excellent crush gate, no issues whatsoever with it. So yeah, hope that answers that question, Michael. Okay, so next question is from Paddy Boy, and it is, good video Jerry, what product do you use in the footpath? Nice to see the low loader being used. Another one of the smart comments about the low loader being used as a gate. Yeah, we use a couple of different products in the footpath. Water obviously was in first. Bluestone, just in powder form, sprinkle some of that into it. This year we added some lime into it as well, just to kind of thicken the water up, because when it's quite watery, the cattle as they're passing through it, a lot of it can be lost, and you kind of have to keep replenishing it then during the whole process. So we put some lime, and it did thicken it up. It just meant that when they were walking through it, there was less of it splashing out, and it would stick better to their feet too. So that worked out well. Also, another product that we use from time to time is formaldehyde. Small amount of that mixed in. It's quite strong, so you don't need that much of it. And what it does is then, if there's any issues, maybe a bug or any bacteria on the feet, it'll kill that. And it also hardens up the hoof, so it means that the hoof then is less susceptible then to taking anything or getting injured as well. So yeah, the formaldehyde is a good job when mixed into it. So yeah, hopefully that answers that, Paddy. Kieran McGovern is the next one. How many loads a day would you need from the diet feeder, Jerry? Just curious to know. Back on the farm I used to work on, we needed 5 loads a day from a single auger feeder. Also, is that a new wide angle shaft on the feeder too? We're actually on 5 loads a day at the minute, but that will come back down to 4. I hope, because it's time consuming when you have to do 5 loads one after another. You see, we have some cattle. Some of the heifers and bulls are on almost up on full feed, whereas there is some of the later heifers that are in for beefing. They aren't up just on as high a rate yet, so you're having to do a couple of different mixes there just to do those. So when they all get up on the same rations, they will leave it a bit easier. Also, then we have a mix to do then for cows. We've mixed to do for weanlings as well. So there's 5 at the minute, and hopefully it will be come back down to 4. So it'll just leave it a bit easier when it does. It's a wide angle shaft. Yeah, it's how long is that? That's actually it's on it now, but we had it on last year and the year before, so it's on a couple of years, that PTO shaft. We took the other one off. It had what happened to the other one? One of the Hardy Spicers just got worn in it, and we took it off. There's nothing wrong with it, but we had this other shaft lying in the shed from previous silage harvest that we had, and we put it on the feeder. It just means now that I can get in the tractor and drive down the yard with the feeder still mixing. I don't have to sit waiting for it to finish up. Excuse me. So I hope that answers that question, Kieran. Next up, Fordman 6620. Great video, Jerry. Fair play. My dad wants to know, have you still the cow Mad Mary? Well, no, we don't have Mad Mary. Mad Mary was a cow we had for a number of years. She got the name because when she was younger, she got that sunburn cattle can get when you pick it up outside. Sometimes the vet says, I think it's from, they can eat a weed or maybe a plant or something in the ditch. She ate that. She took this, and her skin started cracking anyway. They usually get it in the summertime. And we took her back. We take her inside. She's kind of becomes sensitive to the light, so you have to put her into a dark shed. Went to feed her one day. Just opened the door, foot as you do, to pass in a little bit of hay to her. She was in a stable, and she came through the door like a lunatic. And she took on then to run after myself and my brother Ben for about an hour and a half around the yard. We were chasing her with tractors, and if she seen you, she would charge at you. It affects them their personality, if you like. She was always a quiet heifer and a quiet cow, but she just went stone mental. So she got the name Mad Mary after that. But she was culled off a few years ago, and we were sad to see her go. Not that day. We were hoping that she would have went that day when she was trying to kill us, but we were sad to see her go afterwards. But I hope that answers that. So unfortunately, Mad Mary is no longer with us. So thanks very much for the question, Fordman 6600. Jared Healy, how do you find the hook dosing gun? I've never been able to get the correct amount of dose out of it. It can be all over the place. I put a pour on the shed. I was told not to shave the back and then to put on the pour on, that it can be absorbed too quickly. Have you ever heard that? I've never heard that shaving the back and putting the pour on lets it be absorbed too quickly. I'd be of the thinking that if you had the back shaved and you put the pour on, it would be absorbed better into the skin and then turned in into the body and get used up better. The hook dosing gun, we've been using it for a number of years. We find that some of them, we find they're not long enough usually, the hook bit that goes down into the animal's mouth. This particular one, we've only have it this year and it's longer, and we're very happy with it. We like the way it works. But other than the fact that the other ones weren't long enough, that was really the only issue that we had. This one, we're much happier with it. It's a different brand. I don't know where that picked it up somehow, but it is working much better. But hook dosing gun, no issues. Especially with this new one, just once you set them, that whatever mill that you want to give to the cattle, there's no issue. Just pull the trigger and it usually works. But yeah, the only issue was that some of them weren't long enough. But yeah, hope that answers your questions, Jared. Next question is Jack Glendon. Does the clippers work well on dirty tails and backs? Or backs and tails? Clippers do work well they do work well on tails and backs that are dirty. The only thing that if you're using them a lot on dirty backs is that the blade will wear out quicker on them. You'll have to change the blade more often. Now, in saying that, some of the tails and backs were quite dirty on the ones I was clipping, and the blade needs change now. The last half a dozen, it was just starting to get hard to get the back clip, but it done almost 200. So yeah, like if they're really, really dirty, you might get 100 and odd out of 150. Now, what you'll find is, as you're using them, you might have to continuously tighten up just a little bit of a turn on the blade, just to tighten it up a bit as the more the blade starts to wear. So yeah, but yeah, no issues really to use them on the dirty bags, other than it'll wear out the blade a bit more. So hope that answered that question, Jack. And that is the last question. So hope just a selection of questions just from different videos that I had over the last number of weeks, and I said I'd try and answer some of them and make a bit of a video out of it. As I say, I'm going to do a more planned question and answers. Try and do that around Christmas. It's doubtful that Dad will take part in it, but I could ask him and see could we get him onto the video on that front. I'm going to try and get him to do some of the videos on the 36 once we start to do the work on it, because he is the mechanic and he'll be better able to maybe explain some of the stuff if he do it. But we'll see when it comes to it. He may not. He could just tell me and I'll have to tell you. So yeah. So that's it. Hope you enjoyed the video. It's a little bit different from what we usually do. As I say, like we had these questions all picked out from Saturday. Didn't get a chance to do the video yesterday, and I was just finished this evening. I had no other content, so I said, all right, so I'll go through them now and get them done. So yeah, hope you enjoyed it. As always, don't forget to hit the sub button, leave a like on the video, comment down below. We'll be back a little bit later in the week with we'll be feeding cows. I think will be the next video. So until then, have a good week, and we'll see you then.